Okay, I'm ready to climb the tower. I have my reservation. It's at 6 o'clock and it is 5:45 right now. I was warned very thoroughly that I need to arrive at least 15 minutes ahead, not to be late, because if you're late, they will not let you in. So the first thing I have to do is go over to this office that is right here in the yellow building and deposit my bags. They don't allow any bags at all into the tower. Some woman in front of me in line said, "Oh, I'll just go put it in the car." And the woman at the front desk said, "Don't do that. Putting it in the car is the worst thing you can do." So you want to go and use the lockers over at the tower. And here's the tower right behind me. So I'm going to go drop off my bags, then get in line, and I'll take you up to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay, now that that's finished, I have a little key. This key is for my locker. I put it in myself, and I take this with me, along with my reservation, which you can see here. It's a 6 o'clock reservation for climbing the tower, and I'm going to go over. It's still 15 minutes ahead, and I'll wait in line and see what happens. It's a beautiful day for climbing the tower. All right, I'm through security, and there's the line behind me. Here we go. The floor is slanty. I wish I had something to roll down here, but yeah, I'm definitely leaning because the ground itself is slanted. Just a little bit. So let's go ahead and go upstairs. Round and round we go. A circular staircase that also leans. It kind of makes you feel like you're a little seasick or something. I hear all the wheezing already of the people ahead of me. Top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Whew. Oh, it's a beautiful day. You can see some of the mountains beyond. Look at all the different capitals up there with different faces. This was done in several different sections because as they started building it in the 1100s, it started to settle. Oh, now I'm going downhill. Walk, walk, walk. Oh, this is definitely downhill. And they stopped because the tower started leaning in one direction. So they came back some years later and tried to compensate for the lean by making the walls taller on one side. And that didn't work. It kept leaning, and so they stopped again. And eventually they gave up and put a bell tower on top. It should have been much taller, but because of the soil underneath it was not very stable, they weren't able to continue to do the tower at the height that they wanted. This is really interesting. They put these glass panes in here, so you can see here into the center how they've stabilized it. This is the very, very top level with the bells. Top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pretty sure that's the street. I was here years ago as a tour guide, a young tour guide in my 20s, and I remember being here and watching them do the reconstruction and the stabilization of it. And they put a whole bunch of lead weights on one side, and then they sucked all of the dirt out from underneath the other side and let it really slowly tip back. And it had a big girdle around the center with straps that were pulling it, and they kind of winched them down and slowly bring it back into the right sort of lean. As it turns out, they could have made it completely straight if they had wanted, but had they done that, it wouldn't be a leaning tower anymore, would it? So, that's all the news that's fit to print here from the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's a nice climb. The view's okay, but it's an experience a lot of people really want to have. And now I've checked it out, and I know exactly how it happens, so I'm going to write it up for everybody in the Rick Steves guidebooks. So, buonasera from Pisa, and I hope you enjoy the view.